Denver, Colorado will test a program to allow some voters to cast their ballots via a smartphone app. How about that? Our next guest is helping fund this pilot program. It's Bradley Tusk, and he's been on this show before many times. Ain't that right, Bradley?
I have. My fifth or sixth time. For some reason, you keep having me back. I keep assuming each one's going to be the last one, and then you guys call again.
It's never the last one of them.
Apparently, that's what I'm learning. Yeah.
All right, there's an app. And if I'm in Denver, I get the app and I can vote on my little mobile phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Why? How?
What's my question?
Yeah.
You're going to use this as an entry point to go nationwide, aren't you?
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Are you not worried about hacking, that kind of thing?
You know, look, I think that if our only problem in life was hacking, then you would say paper-only ballots make sense. Except for those of us who remember Bush versus Gore in 2000, paper has its problems too. But we live in a world where turnout in most elections is less than 20%. In fact, in most primaries, it's barely more than 10%. And because of gerrymandering, most primary elections in the U.S. effectively are the general election. And what that means is the far left or the far right tend to control the agenda. So you have this extreme polarization, this extreme partisanship, and even though the views of the majority of people on issues like guns or immigration or health care tend to be fairly sensible and in the middle, those views are never heard because those people don't vote in primaries, and politicians who only really, in my experience, care about getting reelected, they just vote for the people who vote for, they just take the advice of people who vote for them in the primary. In fact, you and I were talking a minute ago about Mike Bloomberg and why he's not running for president. This is really the same thing, which is having worked with Mike for years, having run his mayoral campaign, I know that a lot of his views line up pretty well with the country as a whole, but I also know that his views are not particularly radical. They're fairly centrist, and as a result, they don't line up nearly as well with the people who vote in Democratic primaries.
That's interesting. If you had mobile phone voting in the Iowa caucuses, for example, you think Mike Bloomberg would have a shot?
I do.
But without that, he doesn't.
I think that without that, when turnout is really low, you tend to just get the extremes, right? Because people who are most motivated are usually sort of the angriest, the most fired up, which tend to be the most partisan. Again, totally on both sides. So this is not really a partisan issue.
When I first heard about this, I thought, oh, an election. That's a presidential election or congressional election.
Anything.
But anything, that's more important.
Denver is municipal.
In New York.
So let me give you two sad stats. One, Bill de Blasio, I would argue, phenomenally inept mayor, was elected. He won his primary with about 300,000 votes, which is about 4% of the city's population. A couple of weeks ago, we had a special election for a job called public advocate. Totally useless job, but it is a citywide job. And if the mayor does leave, the public advocate becomes mayor. Do you know how many votes Jumaane Williams, the winner, got? 77,000. That is less than 1% of the city's population picking a citywide elected official. So. And look, if you look at de Blasio, while he was a really bad mayor in his first term, he won re-election easily. And the reason why is he really knew who those 300,000 voters were, and he governed for them. He made sure that their interests and their needs were met, and it didn't matter if the other 96% suffered.
What's your financial interest in this?
Philanthropic, as we've discussed before.
At the kindness of your heart, Bradley
out of having learned so much about how bad politics is, the need to do something. So as we've discussed before on this program, I'm an early investor in Uber, so that worked out pretty well for me. Gave me the ability to create a family foundation, Tusk Philanthropies, and one of the two issues we focus on is this. So we've been funding the costs for jurisdictions to try this out. So we did it in West Virginia last year, and we're doing it in Denver this spring.
Okay, if the system were adopted, you'd make some money out of it, presumably.
I have no interest at all in any of the companies that are working on this.
Okay.
By the way, it makes my investment team and my fund really upset that I won't let them invest in it, but I won't.
I'm sure. Back to Mike Bloomberg just for a moment.
Sure.
He's not running.
Nope.
He said he couldn't win. He couldn't win the Democrat nomination.
Right.
Because that's really because it's gone so far to the left, isn't it? Regardless of whether you've got app voting or whatever.
Yeah.
They're so far to the left, he don't want in.
I mean, you had a member of Congress make wildly anti-Semitic comments, and they couldn't even condemn her by name last week, right? You have a party that has run amok on the left, just like many would say the Republican Party, because of Trump, has run amok on the right. And as a result, a candidate who could be very competitive in their election, has incredible experience both in the public and private sector, and all the money he needs to run his own race and be independent is not really viable.
What about Biden?
You know, Biden, on one hand, is a little more viable because he's a career politician and he was Obama's vice president. But we may live in a world where Biden is also too centrist to this point to win.
That's interesting. So you really do believe, and I do certainly, that the Democrats have just shifted so far to the socialist left.
The people
and
who
there's no coming back.
vote in the primaries? Yes. Do I think the overall party has? Probably not as much. But when you look at the people who show up at the caucuses, show up at the primaries, show up at the rallies, are watching MSNBC and tweeting about whatever Rachel Maddow says, they have moved so far to the left that centrist candidates at this moment can't really compete in a primary.
5 years from now, will I be voting on this?
I certainly hope so. The problem is everyone who has power in the current system, so if you're a group that exploits low turnout primaries on the left or the right, so say the teachers union on the left or the NRA on the right, you're not going to want this, right? Because this effectively disempowers you because it brings everyone to the system. So I'm not naive about what I'm up against. But what I learned with Uber and other things that we do in technology is when you let the genie out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. So my job is to get out of the bottle.
You're such a centrist.
I'm trying. Some things are better than
I'm such an extremist.
There are some issues I'm probably pretty extreme on one way or the other.
We're going to get into them one day.
There we go. I'll come back.
Bradley, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.